Le webinaire va bientôt commencer. Veuillez rester en ligne. Le webinaire va bientôt commencer. Veuillez rester en ligne. Le webinaire va bientôt commencer. Veuillez rester en ligne. Le webinaire va bientôt commencer. Veuillez rester en ligne. Le webinaire va bientôt commencer. Veuillez rester en ligne. Le webinaire va bientôt commencer. Veuillez rester en ligne. La diffusion vient de démarrer. Tous les participants sont en mode écoute seul.
Thank everybody for coming today. My name is Lee Goldstein, and I want to just make this presentation and show everybody all about our system, the 10-minute trades trading system. We've been talking about it for weeks and weeks and weeks now on Facebook and all over YouTube. And I want to thank everybody for giving me your time today. I know time is very important. So I'm going to go through this, explain our system, and then we're going to say thanks and we'll give you a little present as well. So the point of this webinar today and training on how I did this, the key is how did I grow my account? The title is How I Grew My Account 60% in 5 months with Family Money Trades. So that's a big, fancy claim, and we're going to back it up. We have something called the daily market movers. We make an appointment with the futures markets. That's how we trade. That's what I'm going to explain how we did this. That's me. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director for 10-minute trades. Just remember, please, it's very important. Follow the rules. The disclaimers are real. What we're showing is educational. It's possible to lose money trading futures. You don't want to trade money that you cannot afford to lose. So please be careful, trade smart, be wise. Okay, it's very important. Now, I'm going to just start with the proof, and then I'm going to explain how we did it. So we'll get the elephant out of the room immediately. I want to show you our brokerage statement for the beginning of April. Our initial balance was $13,228. The beginning of April is key. This is our brokerage statement. Obviously, it's real. We would never monkey around with any papers or fake anything. This is real brokerage statements. If you're a Dorman customer, this is what the report from Dorman looks like. They're our Ninja Trader clearing broker. $13,228.21. Here's our brokerage statement in the middle of our trading range. Okay, we'll call it a range trade. We're creating a range. Here's our brokerage statement as of Thursday, July 15th. We were up to 20,378 from 13,200 to 20,378. That was July. And then here's our balance in September. We were 21,491. It was a swing of over $8,000, 82.63 and 68 cents. And here is our statement as of September 17th, I believe. Let me make sure. Oh, okay. 10/14/21. We were $22,281.93. So we've gone from 13K, 13.2, all the way up to 22,281. Have we been higher? Yes, we were. We got a tiny bit over 25, and there's been, I'd say we've had a couple of weeks of difficult trading. We had 4 months of beautiful trading with hardly any issues at all. And then, of course, every system is going to have issues where you have trades that don't work. People do lie. We don't lie. We tell the truth. We went through a couple of bad weeks. We had one of the worst trades we ever had, and we had one of the best trades we ever had. And I'm going to show you those trades. All right. I'll show you our worst trade, and I'll show you one of our best trades. So don't forget, we started at 13,228, and we're roughly 22,281 right now. Not roughly, we're 22,281.93 now. It's a very nice it's a very nice addition to what we started with. So it's important to understand what we do, but let me show you those 2 trades first. How about we start that way? Because it's a little bit fun to show the best of the best and the worst of the worst. So let's show the worst of the worst first. Now, what's fascinating about our worst trade is one of my favorite trades. It's the WASD trade. Our WASD trade has been so profitable. Virtually every month it makes money. So the last WASD trade that came up was a gigantic, I figured I'm going to add more contracts to my WASD trade, and I'm just going to clean up and make a fortune. So of course, what happened? The trade didn't work. We had a losing trade, and that happens sometimes. But I can't wait for the next WASD trade. WASD is a grain trade, World Agricultural Supply Demand Estimate. That's what WASD stands for. It's an agricultural trade. So every now and then, you're going to have a trade that doesn't work. It happens. Now, I hope I have the video. I can't believe I don't have the video here. So bear with me for 1 second because I want to show it to you. Let me find the date. It's the one video that somehow I don't have. There it is. I hope. Let's see. Bear with me 1 second because I'm losing it. Give me 1 second. Let me find this video. It's not in my folder. So bear with me. WASD has made on average, I would say most WASD trades have been making $500, $600. Members have been making $900. Here's a member screenshot. One of our members made $467.50 on the WASD report, and that was in seconds. Okay, he made that amount in seconds. Here's the WASD trade I'm talking about. That was a little bit problematic. So I said I would show the worst of the worst, and I'll show the best of the best. So the WASD trade is a grain trade, okay? I'm trading corn on the left side of the chart. My chart is trading corn futures. I'm using the Ninja Trader platform, and the report, the news for the planting of corn, which is one of the main functions of the WASD report. The news comes out at noon, and it could be any day of the week. It could be Monday through Friday, but it's always at noon. Our software puts our orders on the chart, and then we're trading corn futures. The news comes out, and what happens was the news exploded. It filled me down, and it burst to the upside, and it stopped me out of the trade. So in other words, what we want to happen is going to happen in the next trade that I show you. I want this candle, this red line here, to explode either straight up or straight down. What happened was is it slowly went down, but it went down far enough to pull me into the trade, and then it burst up and it stopped me out, and it took $1,400 from me in about 10 seconds. Okay, that was one of my biggest losing trades since I've been working here. Then like a week before that, I was trading the quarterly grain report, okay? The quarterly grain report, the month before, we made $1,437 the month before on quarterly grains. Here's the quarterly grain, the quarter before. Here's the quarterly grain in the end of September. Watch this. Similar concept. My software puts the X's on the chart. Those X's are my orders. Watch. The price explodes to the upside. Watch it here. No, it was down. I thought it was up. It explodes to the downside in a matter of 4 seconds. The trade took 4 seconds. Here's my trading chart. It was a profit of $2,037. So the best part of the worst trade was it was $1,400. The best part of my best trade, $2,037. So if you take both trades, we still made money with one horrible trade and one fantastic trade. You don't want to ever let one trade ruin your life, destroy your confidence. There's always going to be another trade, and there's always going to be, hopefully, a fantastic winner. Nobody that trades futures like we do, however, we're an educator, and we're going to tell you the truth. You want to practice, and you want to learn how to do it so you can put the market on your side, okay? And that's what I'm going to show you what we do and how we do it today. That's the key. So we grew our account since April, trading what I consider to be the way a normal person trades. In other words, I'm not trading 10 contracts. I'm not trading more than the average retail trader would trade. So you have the opportunity to make the same amount of money that I'm making. In fact, people in our trade room generally make more money than I do because they trade better than I do. They're taking our information and they're learning how to do it on their own, and they're trading maybe a little bit more contracts. They're trading larger. People are very smart. We give them the basics and they run with it. So what we do is called appointment-based trading, ABT for short, appointment-based trading. You make an appointment with the market. That's the idea, okay? It's a simple method. It's time-based, and you can schedule your trades on specific days at specific times up to a month in advance. I mean, you can even do it longer. The best, in my opinion, a week or two in advance is the most accurate because sometimes the calendars that we use, the schedules change. So here's the thing, though, that people worry about. Appointment-based trading is no riskier than other forms of trading, discretionary trading, options trading. What we call appointment-based trading, some people have called news trading. And people are afraid of news trading, but that's because they were never taught how to do it properly, how to manage risk, how to put stops on the charts, and just how to be prepared if something unexpected happens. And that should be the way that you approach any of your trading. Be prepared and be ready for the unexpected. The market can surprise you. So you want to practice, learn how to trade, learn the platform that you're trading. So what triggers, why does the WASDE report move the corn market? What triggers an appointment-based trade? And what exactly do I mean really by an appointment-based trade? Well, every week we create a schedule, okay? And our schedule looks something like this. So we have a free weekly schedule that people can sign up for just by going to our website, www.10minutetrades.com. Our free weekly schedule looks like this. It's a file of names of news results. It might be when we know the Fed is giving an announcement. It might be industrial production, building permits in the United States, Netflix earnings, the API crude oil report, Wednesday's crude oil report, bond auctions, okay? All of these events, they cause an index. For instance, Tesla's earnings, they make the NQ move. Unemployment claims, Philly Fed, those are news reports that make gold move. Maybe the NQ will move also. So we find these events, and I'm going to show you how, and those events trigger an appointment-based trade. So the first category that triggers a trade would be a high-impact economic report. For instance, a GDP report, a CPI report, a building permit report. Those are high-impact economic reports. Trigger number two might be earnings. We just came from an earnings room where we're teaching people how to trade earnings using futures and the NQ. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, we traded Netflix, and it was a profitable trade. Netflix could have earned easily $250 trading just a couple of NQ contracts. The NQ is the futures for the NASDAQ, the mini futures for the NASDAQ. The third trigger, and there are hundreds of triggers, might be tweets. It might be weather, and that affects the soybean market. All sorts of interesting things that will trigger indexes like the S&P, the ES, the Australian dollar, gold, bonds. It'll trigger those indexes to move when a report is released or when news hits the market, okay? And you can schedule many of those reports so you can catch the trigger that moves the market. Let me show you what we do. So the first step is we have these calendars. We use these calendars to find the triggers of the events. So one of the calendars we love the most is forexfactory.com. I go to forexfactory.com, I click the word calendar, and then it gives me a list of all the reports that are taking place this week, starting Sunday, the 17th. You've got Chinese GDP Sunday night. You've got Monday industrial production. You've got Tuesday building permits, housing starts. We traded some of these reports. These are economic triggers, okay? And FOMC member Evans speaks. That might trigger the market to move. The NQ Beige Book is a FOMC report. That's how we find these reports. So we have calendars that we look at. The calendars are color-coded. If it's red, it usually means that the report has a high impact. So in other words, Canada CPI is red. It will probably move the Canadian dollar in a tradable way. You'll be able to set up a trade. with our software to catch a move. Or you could use our reports to set up a trade on your platform, bracket the price, I'll show you what I'm talking about, and set up a trade. And you can do that with most any platform. As long as you can trade futures and you have chart trading or DOM, you can use our charts. So we have 3 calendars that we use. Forex Factory is just one of them. Another one is investing.com, and a third one is Econoday. Econoday also has a very nice trade journal. There's all sorts of calendars and things that you can use to help you to trade. News events and events that you can make an appointment to trade. This is Econoday's calendar. This is today. We had natural gas today. Tonight you have Japanese CPI. So there's all sorts of events that cause market moves to take place. That's the key. Market moves take place. So Forex Factory has color coding. Yellow is low impact, orange is high, red is high, orange is medium. So we study those calendars, and we've been studying them for years, and we come up with that schedule every week. And we tell you what days and exactly what time we're going to meet in our trade room. And we have reports that we send out the day before the trade. That's the catch. We send the reports out the day before the trade, and they tell us how we're going to trade the event. So why did these reports work? Why did that quarterly grain report work? A specific information, a specific index is on the report. Okay, so let me show you the exact report. How about we do that? In fact, it's in my presentation. So let's go through what's on the report, okay, and why does it move the corn market? It's because there's volatility created when the news is released, and that creates a tradable move. We're taking advantage of that volatility. So we pull up the corn market, and then we bracket that market. We put our orders above and below the price, and then the report comes out, and boom, it pulls us into the market. So let me show you one more time that grain report that we traded, okay? And that grain report pulled us into the market. So let me show it to you one more time. Our software put these little X's on the chart, but let's say you didn't have our software. You could put orders on the chart 20, 30 seconds before the news comes out, and you put them close to the current price. Then the news comes out, and the idea is we want to get pulled into the market to the upside if the price goes up and it goes through our X and enters us into the trade, or it moves down and goes through our X and enters us into the trade on the downside. So the news comes out, we're trading corn, it's going to explode to the downside, literally 2 seconds. That was our trade. That was the trade we made $2,000 on, and it pulled us into the market. So the idea is we're creating a bracket around that market, okay? And the setup of the trade is controlled by our daily report. These trades take 10 minutes or less. They take seconds, right? We're not talking minutes. Some of the reports take seconds, but we do have reports where some of them do take minutes. Sometimes we might be in a trade for a couple of minutes. So let me show you a report on the quarterly grains so you can understand how and why we traded that particular report. So here's what it looked like. Give me 1 second just to pull it up, and I'll show you exactly what we send our members. Now, the beauty about our reports is we send them to our members, and we send them the day before the trade. So people know a day before the trade how they're going to trade it. Now, that's pretty fantastic, I think. So let me get to the report and show it to you, because I have it in my presentation. I should have put it earlier in. Here it is. This is the grain stocks report. On the report, it has a risk rating. It has the market that we're trading, corn, the contract. But the key is this yellow line here. This yellow line has the size of the bracket, the time we're going to activate the trade 1 second before the news, a cancellation rule. If we don't get pulled into the trade within a certain amount of time, we cancel the trade. We have targets and stops and information about the trade. So that tells our members how to trade the report. Okay, it's not complicated at all. So each daily market report shows which trade trigger, corn, we're trading, the time of day, 1 second before noon, the market we're trading, corn, we have historical performance. We show data from previous reports so people understand how that report's been working previously. The risk level is on the report, what the target you might try to use and what stop you might use. Then we have the last 6 reports that we traded, whether they were winners or losers. And then we have a narrative that discusses the report as well. So I showed you a sample of the report. Let me show you one more report. So let me show you the WASD report, because even though the WASD report didn't work once, it's worked so many months in a row that one WASD not working would never, ever worry me that it's not going to be a big winner next time. I truly believe it'll reward us next month, because here's our report on the WASD. It's got 6 months, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, since April. April, May, June, July, and August were all winners. All of the reports moved over 35 ticks, every single report. One of them moved 105 ticks. One of them moved 84 ticks. So when I tell you there's an opportunity for profit in the WASD report, there is an opportunity for profit, okay? We're not making it up. We are honest and truthful. We tell the truth. But we've made a change, and that's what this webinar is about. What did we change? So instead of telling people to trade 1 to 3 of these reports every day, we've narrowed the reports down further. We're now focusing on 1 to 3 trades per week. We discovered over the years, we've been doing this since 2014, and we discovered that when we trade every report, our account is flat, or it's down somewhat, or it's barely up. And then we go in the next year and we're just about making money, and we're not making enough money. We discovered, and we spent our time learning and trading and modifying reports. And, you know, it took time before we were willing to accept the fact that we were over trading. And once we started under trading, and let's be honest, folks, if you're a trader, you know the more time you spend in the market, the greater opportunity there is to lose money. The way to make money is to trade less. So we're focusing now on 1 to 3, the best of the best reports, and we call it family money trades. And I'm trading these reports like it's my own family's money. I don't recommend that you trade a family money trade unless I would trade my family's money on it. And that's how it becomes a family money trade. And that's how I got this idea. Every day that I was in the trade room, I was constantly saying in the room, hey, you know what, folks? I wouldn't trade this report with my family's money. So what are we doing here? I don't want you to lose money. So over time, I developed a slight change, a tweak to our system, and we're now calling it family money trades. So we actually have multiple ways that you can trade. If you like action and you have the money to take risk, you can trade as many of our reports as you want. We still generate all the important reports that we feel are going to move the markets, but we make it unbelievably clear where the risk lies, okay? We want you to know that there are some reports that are like a coin toss. they are 50-50, or they're 53%, 48%, 47%. It's hard to make money when your reports are like a coin toss. But when your report is 75, 80%, or it's 5 out of 6, or 6 out of 8, that's a family money trade, okay? That's a family money trade. That's what our news system is doing. But in order to figure out which are the family money trades, you got to figure out what our reports are all about. So that's what I'm here for today, to explain the beauty in our reports and the value in understanding our reports. So one more time, our reports show you risk. They show you the market that we're trading, corn on this report. They have a history of the amount of ticks the report moved. Sometimes it goes back as far as 2018. We have the actual setup that we're going to use in this yellow line. And if you join us in our trade room, if the market is crazy volatile, we might make changes. We might do some things to keep us even safer than our report helps us to stay. So then we have text about the report and our 6-month journal. Okay, and look at the WASD. This is an older WASD. Going back to March, it was 5 winners out of 6. 5 winners out of 6. It's been a great trade. So you can see, folks, we put a ton of time and energy into these reports. We charge $49 a month to subscribe to our reports. $49 a month. And because you're here, though, we have a special. I've got a very special offer. Besides the reports, 90 days of the reports for just a fraction of our regular price. And here's the deal. If you take action today, you'll get 90 days of the daily market movers for just $27. That's what we call the reports, the daily market movers, 27 bucks. So I'm not here to get rich on a $27 report. I want to teach you how to do what we're doing, okay? I want to convince you to come into our trade room also and spend time learning how to use these reports to the best possible way you can use them. But that's an incredible value. $49 a month, right, would be $147 for 3 months. We're just charging $27, not $27 a month, 27 bucks for the whole 90 days. It's an 81% discount. And if you take me up on this offer, we'll throw in a free week in the trade room next week. So you got to come through with this offer before the weekend is over, okay? And we'll give you a free week in the trade room. It's the daily, we call them the daily market movers, www.getdmmnow.com. It's just $27 for 90 days. It doesn't auto renew. We're not going to charge your credit card over and over and over, okay? We're not going to torture you. We're going to teach you how to use the reports. All right. It's not a subscription. It's a one-time investment. It doesn't auto-renew at the end of 90 days. But if you take me up on my offer to come into the trade room, also, we'll physically teach you next week how we use the reports. Okay. So it's a great offer. www.getdmmnow.com. It's a fantastic offer to learn all about these reports. Now, even if our hope is this, that you're going to love these reports so much that you'll manually renew at the end of 90 days, because remember, we're not automatically hitting your card. So people trade these reports. They trade, for instance, I've got so many screenshots from our members, so many webinars that we trade. We trade, for instance, the oil report, okay? A Tuesday oil report. Our members trade every Tuesday. It's called the API report. Let me see if I can show you a screenshot from API. A couple of weeks ago, members made $300, $400. You know, it's funny. Every trade is not always a winner. So it's important to realize some trades you're not going to make money. Now, this particular trade, I made $300 in just a couple of seconds. You can tell the price shot down. That's a beautiful trade when price goes in one direction. That's what we're looking for. We're waiting for a news result to take place, right? And then Our bracket is there. Remember, we're putting orders above and below the price. The news comes out, and then that candle explodes one way or the other, puts us in the market, hits our targets, and pays us. The idea is we want to get paid, okay? That's the concept behind our reports. There's another report called CPI, a very popular consumer price index. Why is the consumer price index so important? It's important because there's inflation now. The market is looking at consumer prices. And if they go up a lot, it makes the market go down. So we have a setup. But think about it. We don't really care if the market goes up or down because we're putting orders above and below the market price. We know that the CPI report is going to create movement probably in gold, probably in the NQ, and possibly in the ES. So we trade those markets, and we have a setup that we get off of this daily report that we send out the day before. That's the beauty, the day before. So here's a sample of a recent CPI report that we took, a CPI trade that we took. Let me pull up the trade. We've been trading lots of CPI reports because they've been working. And again, no report is going to work 100% of the time. But if you have a family money trade, we are banking on the concept that we're trading this report because the last group of them, maybe as many as 5 out of 6 were working. So if you have 5 winners out of 6, don't you think you have a great opportunity to make money? Yes, you have a great opportunity. So here's the bracket. The news came out and gold shot down. And if you look on the right side, the NQ shot down also. So you have 2 different instruments that made money on that report that month, okay? There are lots of different indexes that you can trade. We test certain indexes and we recommend those. But always there's people that trade with us that have other settings. You don't have to always just do what we do. We want to give you the basics, the way to understand how to set up a report so that you can create your own. In the long run, the idea is learning enough so you can set up things on your own. But remember, we're just going to charge $27. We're going to hope that you, at the end of 3 months, we're not going to charge your card again. We believe that you're going to love these reports so much that you'll re-sign up at our regular price, $49 a month. It's still a fair deal, okay? If you don't want to continue after 90 days, don't do anything. We're not going to charge you, all right? So it's the daily market movers, we call them, www.getdmm now. Don't forget, we've got a special offer. Family money trades is the whole idea of what we're doing. We are trading the best of the best reports, okay? And even Darwin over here, my little buddy, he's a part of the family, so it's family money trades, including my pet Darwin. It's actually my daughter's dog, and he's crazy. That's me and my daughter. And www.getdmmnow.com. Let me show you 2 more trades, all right? I'll show you a couple of screenshots. I'll answer any questions. Do we work on futures? Yes, but we do not work with Forex. These reports are for futures, not stocks, options, or Forex. It's for futures, okay? It's very important because people get confused. Let's look at, so here was a recent Canada jobs report. So we were trading at the time, 10 o'clock Canada jobs. It was just a couple of seconds. We haven't traded this report in years. It was one of the reports that we used to trade years ago. I noticed it started moving again, so we traded it and we made 145 quick dollars on Canada jobs. You don't have to make thousands of dollars. You're not always going to make thousands on a report. What's wrong with making $200 or $300? Nothing. Here's a oil report that we trade weekly. I made $300 on the oil report, okay? And I waited patiently for my target to get hit. We knew what the news was that day. We knew the news was negative, which would force oil to the downside, and we waited for the news to come out and hit our targets, and it did. What I should say is after the news came out, we waited for it to hit our targets, okay? So it's great when you know enough about something that you can take advantage of the information. And that's essentially what we're doing. We're selling you information that will help you. The idea is we want to help you take advantage of possible market moves at the time that we say that you could look at the market expecting a move. For instance, natural gas. Natural gas, which is risky to trade because sometimes natural gas can move very violently, but also it can move very normally, just like a CPI trade. Natural gas comes out, the report comes out, news comes out on Thursdays. We have a natural gas setup that we use every week on natural gas. So we have, it's called a natural gas DMM, a natural gas daily market mover, right? That's what the daily market mover is. So I'm going to my file cabinet and I'm pulling up my daily market mover for natural gas. And it looks like this. Here it is. All right. Scroll down to natural gas storage report. That's the name of the report I'm trading. And it's got a setup. That yellow line is the setup I'm going to trade. I've got a bracket, how many ticks I'm going to bracket, a time that I want to enter the trade. That means what time am I going to put my orders on the chart. I even have a cancellation rule. I have a rule that if I don't get filled, if I don't get pulled into the trade, I'm going to cancel the trade and I'm not going to take it. And then I have targets and a stop. So natural gas has had some very bad trades and it's had some awesome trades. For the past year and a half, it's had way more winners than it's had losers. But you do want to be aware with natural gas to trade it carefully because natural gas is volatile. But it also has some great trades. Here was the trade, natural gas. This was August, but it actually looks almost the same as today's natural gas trade. You can see we bracket the natural gas market right before the news comes out. Then the news comes out and it causes that move in natural gas. That move pulls us into the market. And the idea is we want it to hit our targets and give us a profit. That's the idea, okay? And that idea reaches fruition a lot, okay? I wouldn't be here and our members wouldn't be sending us screenshots, real screenshots. You can't make them up if the trades didn't work. In fact, I was on a website called Futures.io, which is a review site of companies like us. And there was a review on that site by someone I don't know who said he'd been in our trade room and watched us trade. And we traded with a lot of success. That's what he said. And if you go to Futures.io, Futures.io, you could find that review. I'm here because I believe in what we do. I want to teach you and help you. And so take me up also on my free week in the trade room. If you sign up before the weekend is out, $27, www.getdmmnow.com. You can ask me any questions you need, help at 10minutetrades.com, but go to www.getdmmnow.com, sign up for $27 for 3 months of our reports. We'd love if you do it. And if I have any questions, folks, I'll be happy to answer them now. So just a reminder, we're trading futures, the Ninja Trader platform, and that's it. I don't see any questions today. So Kershid, thank you for signing up. I'm sure many of our other folks that are visiting with us today will sign up. I want to thank you all so much for giving me your time. I know that time is at a premium. So my name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director at 10 Minute Trades. And I'll see you soon. So thanks once again, www.getdmnnow.com, just $27. And thanks for listening, folks. And I'll see you soon. Take care and have a good rest of your day. So long.